So, ladies and gentlemen, the Dallas Cowboys continue to cook in this offseason, things that they haven't done before, and they continue to open up cap space. Interestingly enough, the Dallas Cowboys might be looking to add another big-time player in free agency, or maybe, just maybe, they're getting ready to re-sign some of their own guys. That's something we're going to tackle in today's video to try and investigate what we could see the Cowboys do in the next couple of moves as we adventure further through March and getting closer and closer to the draft. With all that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive straight into today's video. Now, before we begin today's video, if you guys could do me a favor and hit the like button, that would be greatly appreciated. Also, subscribe if you're new and hit the notification bell as well. The reason I mentioned that, 79.2% of you guys watching are actually not subscribed, and a good majority of you are returning viewers. So, if you're roaming around and you like what you're seeing and you keep coming back and watching the videos, why not subscribe and hit that notification bell so you get notified when I post new content and when I go live. I do highly recommend you stick around towards the tail end of the video for a special announcement, so I thank you guys so much for the support. All that crap out of the way. Now let's dive into what's going on. So the Dallas Cowboys opened up a little bit more cap space. For those that are unaware or living under a rock, this actually happened late last night where the Cowboys basically redid Brandin Cooks' contract. Now, people think they actually restructured his contract. That term gets thrown out a whole lot. If you actually look at what they did was they redid the contract and making it so that his cap hit went from $12 million to $6 million, and all they did was just push another year on it. This isn't like the traditional restructure where there's a bigger cap hit on the following year. It's just more so they just push the money back, and rather than him being a player that's on a one-year deal when you can cut him in 2024, he's really on a two-year deal. And what that tells me is that the Cowboys want Brandin Cooks to be around for some time, and so you're going to have the trio of Gallup, Lamb, and Cooks going at it for at least the next two seasons, which is, I think, adequate enough, especially if Gallup can kind of get back into form. But if he doesn't, then we got to start having serious conversations about a replacement. But the reason why it's important they open up this cap space is now the Dallas Cowboys, after making that move, have $16.2 million in salary cap space they can use right now. The Zeke money is coming later down the line, so now people are speculating, is this going to be a big move for the Cowboys? For example, are they going to go after a Bobby Wagner? Are they going to go re-sign Dante Fowler or insert other players here? Because they're starting to bring in some, bargain basement depth guys, which is fine. I think that's fair. Any other team would do such things. So right now, the conversations have been regarding Wagner that the Cowboys aren't really interested in signing him because they brought back LVE, which, it just doesn't make sense. Why would you settle with what you have now? And we've talked about it in our mock drafts and on, other videos I've done. You need to add to this linebacking core, without a doubt. I'm not saying that, Bobby Wagner is going to be your miraculous savior and shore up everything on your defense, but he's going to be a veteran presence that is going to be most welcomed, and I think he would take your defense to a whole nother level, and you could still add to that, and that's even with adding Stephon Gilmore. You kind of need to get some help at the linebacker spot, and if you want to go off of the market value, he's going to run you about $7 to $9 million, even if it's a one-year deal, which, by the way, who gives a shit? Give him a one-year deal, even if it's $7 or $9 million, and let's cook there. However, here's the thing. The Dallas Cowboys do want to bring some of their players back. Dante Fowler has been a name that was mentioned at the beginning of free agency. In fact, before, teams started going out and signing in that tampering period. And they said, okay, they want to get it done. Fowler wants to come back. The Cowboys want him to come back. And we kind of just sat and paused there. So, I've had some conversations, and from what I get, the Cowboys still want to bring Fowler back. They're working out a contract, apparently, but they kind of put everything on hold because of the Gilmore and Cooks things, because that was a big thing in and of itself. For the Cowboys to operate as quickly as they have, to upgrade those positions, that's a miracle in and of itself. It's like we're seeing a brand new Dallas Cowboys front office operate in front of our very eyes. And if you've known me, I get very hard on the team, and I even had videos saying it looks like they're not going to do anything the same, and they have been proving me wrong. And I'm going to wait until we get closer to the draft, once they make all their moves, for me to really give you an honest assessment. I'm glad I'm wrong. I'm not happy to be right on those things. So I would say to the Cowboys fans out there, if they're trying to speculate, Wagner, I could see happening, but we have to understand that they want Fowler back. They want Hankins back too. So the question now becomes, okay, are there other guys in free agency they can go grab? And yeah, there are, but there hasn't been a whole lot of traction that we're hearing about. And what's kind of crazy is that even the Dallas Cowboys insiders have nothing to go off of. And that's not saying that they're not legitimate. That's not what I'm saying here. It's just weird how the Cowboys are keeping everything behind closed doors, which is usually the opposite. Because, what happened last year was, hey, we're going to cut Cooper if we don't trade him, and they traded him. Okay, we're going to cut Lyell if we don't trade him, and they cut him anyway. You don't see that this go around. It's very just tongue-in-cheek. We're going to keep everything behind the closed doors, and if anyone wants to hear what we do, they're going to have to wait until the day of. So I do want to see the Dallas Cowboys try to bring back Hankins. I think he would be a solid bring back or re-signing. And then you look at Fowler. Like, for me, Fowler is a guy that you can replace in the draft, if I'm being honest with you, or even with what you have on roster. And you don't need to bring him back to a big contract. Now, if he comes back on a $3 to $5 million deal, I'm not complaining, because that's really, when you look at his market, his market's like $7 million on average. So anything below $7 million, and I'm like, okay. And I think if you bring back a Dante Fowler, it's kind of like insurance for you with Dorrance Armstrong next year. Like, for example, if the Cowboys sign Dante Fowler to like a 2 to 3 year deal, keep in mind, Armstrong's on a 2-year deal, so he's done after 2024. So if the Cowboys are like, you know what, Armstrong, go get paid somewhere else, you got Fowler for another year, and you can kind of just churn and burn there. So just keep that in mind as well. It just seems like an insurance pickup there. Now, they've brought in Ronald Jones. They brought in one of the offensive linemen that they were interested in last year. It's very Stephen Jones-esque to bring these guys in, and I don't have a problem with that, but I want to circle back on the Ronald Jones conversations, because with him, he would be kind of like your power back in that instance. And so it's like, okay, does this deter you from drafting a running back? I think if they go pick up Ronald Jones, which, by the way, when this video comes out, it's going to be early in the morning. So they are supposed to have a second meeting with him, and if they are, I'm thinking they're probably going to sign Ronald Jones to like a 1 to 2 year deal, maybe cheap kind of thing, and go from there. Like, usually when the Cowboys bring in someone on a second visit, they're very much so going to possibly sign that person. That's usually been the businesses conducted here. And I could be wrong, but if Ronald Jones gets signed here, I think it tells us that they're not going to draft a running back early, but they could still draft a guy, but more so for Tony Pollard's replacement, especially if they're not going to sign him to a long-term deal. The running back market has depreciated, and we were talking about the tight end market on Twitter Spaces and stuff like that, and Dalton Schultz went to the Texans, which congrats for him to getting his payday, but he really should have taken the $12 million a year. It was like 3 years, $36 million, because now he got screwed out of it. The Cowboys will get a comp pick, but not as big as they would want. So best of luck to Dalton Schultz there. And the final thing I wanted to talk about is possible extensions. I'm going to have a video on that more in depth, but keep an eye out. They might want to hammer out the Lamb or the Diggs contracts as soon as they can, because, dude, if you're not going to sign anybody else, you might as well get those done before the market value continues to go up. So that's where we stand there, guys. Please tell me, do you think the Cowboys are going to make a move? Right now, I haven't heard anything other than the Fowler stuff and the Wagner stuff. Things could change. Also, Ronald Jones could be added soon, maybe. But thank you guys so much for reaching the end of the video. And I wanted to touch up on the special announcement that I got onto earlier in the video. So, with what's been going on in 2023, I've been striving to do my best to bring you guys the best content on a daily basis if the Cowboys put out daily content so that I can talk about it. And so far, it's been a grand slam there. I love every single one of you guys supporting the videos. They've been getting really good engagement, and I'm not just talking about the view count. I'm talking about how you guys watch the videos. You guys are clicking on them, engaging, commenting. I love everything that I'm seeing there. One of the bigger things is I want to improve live streaming, because to me, I think I don't do a good job at live streaming, and I want to do it a little bit more, commonplace so I can talk with you guys, but also interact with you on a lively basis. And unfortunately, with scheduling, it's hard to do that. So I had to look at my schedule and determine what would be the best course of action. So I am launching, if you saw the community post and my Twitter post, I'm launching the Cowboys After Hour show, or you could just call it Cowboys After Hours. It's just a live stream extravaganza. It's not an extravaganza, it's just me doing live streams. That's going to be what I call it, and it's just going to be once or twice a week. I'll go live for an hour. We'll talk about a certain thing. We might do a mock draft. That will be what we're doing to kind of make sure that we have some live engagement, because I want to do a better job at that there. So we're going to be doing the first show 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I want to make this super, super, super clear. The shows will try to be between 6 to 7, and we'll add, we might have guests on and all that other stuff. But I really wanted to kind of hone in on the video stuff first, because I feel like that is what YouTube's about, and I want to make sure I'm putting out the best content for you guys. I don't think that it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Obviously, I can do better, but considering I'm in an apartment and I can't get a cool backdrop because I can't, fix up the walls, that's just where we stand. So I'm really excited for this, and I want to focus this as my next challenge for 2023. I want to get better at the live streaming. I want to be more consistent there, and I appreciate all the love and support. You guys have been amazing on Twitter and the YouTube comments saying, yo, you're doing a great job. Don't be too hard on yourself. But sometimes, you want to try and make sure that you're not getting complacent. So expect to see that moving forward. And if you guys want to continue supporting the channel, you can become a channel member today. If in the live streams you do that, you actually get a green little check mark or green little icon next to your name, which shows that you're supporting the channel further. So with that being said, guys, I thank you so much for your time, and I love every single one of you. I can't wait for the live streams to get started, and hope you guys tune in. Please, what I'm going to do is notify you when I put the live stream video thing up, so you'll get notified, hey, this is when it's going to be, and then you can make sure to hit your reminders on that. So thank you so much, guys, for the love and support, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.